Welcome to How To with Husqvarna, where we show you how to take care of some of your favorite Husqvarna equipment. In this video, we're going to show you how to perform routine maintenance on your Husqvarna zero-turn mower. Before you begin, refer to your owner's manual for details including the personal protective equipment needed to service your Husqvarna zero-turn mower. If you need to locate an owner's manual, please visit husqvarna.com. To service your ZTR properly, you'll need the right tools and original equipment service parts ready to go at your workstation. Remember, always use the right tools and parts for the job. You'll need the following tools: gloves, safety glasses, 2 wrenches, sized to battery terminal, bolt, and nut, a 3/8 drive spark plug socket, sized to the spark plug, a 3/8 extension, and a 3/8 ratchet, pliers, an oil drain pan, an oil funnel, a blade stop tool if needed, a half-drive foot-pound torque wrench and half-drive socket sized to the blade bolts, a 00 grease and grease gun, shop towels. You'll also need the following service parts: OEM spark plugs, an OEM air filter and pre-filter, an OEM fuel filter, 2 or more quarts of engine oil. Check the operating manual for engine oil specifications, OEM blades and blade bolts if needed. Park your ZTR on a solid, level surface. Engage the parking brake. Disengage the PTO switch, switch off and remove the ignition key, and lower the mower deck. Lift the seat and disconnect the negative battery cable. This keeps the engine from turning over by accident while you're working and de-energizes the electrical system if you're working with any electrical components. Make sure the engine is cooled down before you go to work. Remove the spark plug cap. Just twist and pull it. Inspect the cap in boot condition. Look for cracks or arc flash damage. Replace the cap if you see any damage. Put on safety glasses and use the compressed air nozzle around the spark plug. This keeps contaminants from getting into the engine. Use the ratchet and plug socket to loosen and remove the spark plug, turning counterclockwise. Get a new spark plug, then check and set the plug gap according to the engine manufacturer's specifications. Thread the new plug into the cylinder head by hand, then run it down until it bottoms out and tighten a 1/4 turn. Reinstall the spark plug cap. Repeat these steps on the other cylinder for V-twin engines. Remove the air filter cover. Remove the air filter and auxiliary pre-filter if you have one. Put on safety glasses and block the air intake. Use compressed air to blow dirt and debris out of the air filter base and housing. But remember, never use compressed air to clean out a filter because it may damage the filter and let particulates pass through the filter into the engine. Install a new air filter and new pre-filter if you have one. Reinstall the air filter cover. Inspect the fuel and fuel tank for any contaminants and then clean, drain, or flush them if they need it. Follow all applicable laws and regulations when disposal of contaminated or degraded fuel is required. Turn off the fuel valve if it's equipped. If it's not equipped with an inline fuel valve shutoff, clamp the fuel line to keep the fuel from flowing. Use pliers to remove the fuel line clamps from the fuel filter. Just slide them back but leave them on the line. Twist and pull the fuel line off the filter one side at a time. Install the new fuel filter in the right flow direction. If the filter has an arrow, point it in the direction the fuel flows to the carburetor. Use pliers to move the clamps back on the filter. Remove or open the dipstick to vent the engine crankcase. Set the drain pan under the engine drain spout. Remove the drain plug cap and drain the engine oil into the pan. When the engine oil is fully drained, remove the funnel and pan, then reinstall the drain plug cap. Fill the oil to full as indicated on the engine dipstick. Reinstall and tighten the dipstick. Hook up the negative battery terminal, then start and run the engine for 15 to 30 seconds. Recheck the oil, top it off if needed, then disconnect the negative terminal again. Use the grease gun with standard all-purpose 00 grease to grease all fittings on the front end and mower deck. Refer to the owner's manual to see how to service the grease points and hour intervals for optimum performance. Locate and pump several shots of grease into both front axle spindle zerk fittings, the front wheel bushing zerks if equipped. Grease all deck mandrels if equipped with zerk fittings. As the grease packs tight, you'll notice a slight resistance in the grease gun handle. When the resistance increases, you know the bearings and grease reservoir is packed and you can move to the next grease point. Note: people may set the tire pressure to their personal preference. As a general rule, your lawnmower tire pressure should be somewhere between 10 psi and 20 psi. Some prefer less pressure in the front than in the rear. Others like to keep the tires even all the way around. Just remember to keep both the right and left sides evenly matched. Put on safety glasses and use compressed air on the tire chuck PSA gauge to check and set tire pressure evenly on both sides. Set the tires to the PSI recommended in the owner's manual. Make sure you use the same PSI right to left and front to back. Park your zero-turn mower on a stable, level surface. Note that zero-turn mowers have an access hatch above the deck to make the job easier. Remove the tension eye bolt to remove the belt from around the engine pulley or clutch. Note the location of and remove the cotter pins, washers, and through pins from the deck lift arms. Note the location of and remove the cotter pins, washers, and through pins from the rear deck hangers. Slide the deck out from under the ZTR and prop it up against a wall for easy access. Check the deck belt. Visually inspect the V-belt looking for weather and dry rot cracks, burnt spots, thin spots, or any visible damage. Remove the tension from the belt and spin each idler to make sure the bearings aren't tight or gritty. They should spin smooth and free. Then inspect the flat and V idlers for surface wear. Replace any worn belts or pulleys as needed. Clean any debris and clumped grass clippings from under the deck with a flat screwdriver or chisel. Check the mandrel bearings left to right and side to side, then spin them. Remove the blade bolts by rotating the bolts counterclockwise. If the bolts need to be replaced, we recommend using OEM bolts. See your owner's manual for details. Inspect the blades. If the lifts are worn, thinning, or cracking, or the edge corners are severely rounded, then the blade needs to be replaced. If the blades are still in good condition and need to be sharpened, we recommend taking them to your local Husqvarna dealer for professional sharpening. Reinstall the blades. Position the blade lifts up toward the deck. The star blade centered on the mandrels. Then start the blade bolts by hand. Run them in to hold the blade in place. Then torque the blade bolts to 45 to 55 foot-pounds with a calibrated torque wrench. Use a blade stop tool to hold the blade while removing and installing the blade if needed. If the mandrels have grease zerks, apply a few pumps of grease to them. Make sure the belt is routed correctly before putting the deck under your ZTR. Once you slide the deck under your ZTR, attach the front hanger, attach the rear hangers, attach the deck lift arms. Reattach the belt around the engine pulley and clutch. Ensure the tire pressure has already been checked and set. With the mower on a flat surface, Set the mower to the highest cutting position. Position the blades so they're side to side. Measure the distance from the bottom edge of blade to the ground on both outer blades. The measurement should be the same on both sides. Position the blades front to back. Measure the distance from the bottom edge of the blade to the ground on both blades. The measurement should be the same front to back. It's okay to have up to a 1/4 inch higher measurement in the back. This is called pitching your deck and creates a better vacuum. If the deck is out of level, double check the tire pressure and check out our video on how to level your mowing deck. Once you've completed all service procedures, reconnect the negative battery terminal. It helps to clean the battery terminals and apply a terminal spray or dielectric grease to help stop corrosion. Run and test the engine and mower operation for a few minutes. Engage the blades and take it for a drive to ensure that everything works properly. Double-check the oil level, then top it off as needed. Clean up your machine and workstation. We hope this video helped you understand how to properly service your Husqvarna zero-turn mower. Remember, proper maintenance will help you maximize performance and extend the life of your Husqvarna ZTR. To learn more about keeping your equipment on the cutting edge of performance, check out all our How To with Husqvarna videos online. And thanks for choosing Husqvarna.